We just got our shuttle ride up to the trailhead from Trout Lake, excuse me, and everybody's getting ready to head off. Well, there is a fire off over there, about 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 ridges away. It's white smoke, which is good, so it means it's under control or close to that, but there's a lot of smoke. And of course, the other smoke you see in the air has been here for a day or so. It's just hanging around. This is Mount Adams from the west side, as the trail goes along the side here. Good morning. It's my second day out of Trout Lake. Yesterday was an interesting day. Of course, we got the shuttle out. I showed you a picture of that. Some nice views of Mount Adams. We should be seeing Rainier here shortly. Had a couple river crossings to deal with. First one we could rock hop across, not a problem. The second one, because it was late in the day and it's a glacier river coming off of Mount Adams, it was flowing very well, and all the rock hoppings and all the log crossings were being overwashed by the water. So there was no easy way to cross that and stay dry. But a couple of folks we've been hiking with had got there earlier in the day before it got bad. Apparently it gets bad about 3 o'clock once all the water gets down here from the snow melt, the glacier melt. They'd already crossed, and they kind of scoped some things out, so they helped us get across, and hopefully I'm going to video that. There was about 5 people there when we crossed, myself and another guy, and one of the ladies took video, and she's going to try to forward that to us. Hopefully she will, so you can see that. I did take a little bit of video of the guy that crossed in front of me, but obviously I couldn't take my own. So hopefully she'll send that to me and I'll share that with you. Yeah, that was probably the worst river crossing I've had to deal with so far. In terms of current and coldness, and when I got done my shoes were full of rocks, even with my gaiters on. It was not fun, but we got it done safely, so that's what counts. I think my next stop is going to be at White Pass, where there's a Cracker Barrel that I can resupply at. That seems to be the best option. They also have showers and laundry there, so, and it's only about less than a mile off the trail, so that seems like a logical place to stop. That's about 60 miles away right now, so 4 or 5 days, we'll see. That's it for now. I'll check in with you later. All right, got someone here I've hiked with off and on for a while. I want to have him introduce himself. What's your trail name?
Buddy Rest.
Buddy Rest.
Yeah.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from Northern California, right on the coastline.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, really beautiful area.
Local boy.
Oh yeah.
West Coast. Now, how'd you get your trail name?
I got my trail name in the San Jacintos, where I was traveling with a married couple from Georgia, and it was kind of right after they opened it, and we were going on Fuller Ridge, and whoever had blazed the trail, was on a steep traverse, whoever blazed the trail did it in a way where it was just too high up on the traverse. It landed on a boulder field and then went straight down. The issue was I was dealing with an ice axe, so I ended up carrying their packs down the traverse and kicking in steps for them. Also, they didn't really have much snow experience, although they definitely got a lot more after this. And then with the steps, I got the husband down, who was using his kind of trekking poles to get down, and that went really well because he used my steps. And then, but the wife, she's really scared of this whole situation. She also had recently been scared by someone else who just gone down and told her she was gonna die and all this stuff. So it wasn't good. So she wanted to go down her butt. Wasn't the best idea, obviously. It was extremely steep, and the slope was gonna go down into, you know, maybe a 50 meters very thin tree line, and then another God knows how many meters to whatever else was at the bottom. So she starts to go down her butt, and I see that's not good. So I go with my ice axe, and I'm maybe about 10 feet away from her as I'm like trying to, like, you know, go a little bit back down, basically, you know, reposition as she's coming towards me. She's just doing fine, and as I'm repositioning, as I'm kicking downstairs, my ice axe out of the snow, I hear her slip, and I don't remember my actions, but her husband's at the very bottom and he can see all of it. So he sees, and what I did was I slammed my ice axe into the snow, and I had a really long, it was like the blue gravel, and it was very long, so the snow was super soft, but it stuck in super deep. Slammed it into the snow, and then she's over to my left, and I basically just jump over. She's going down a trough where someone else had glycated and then arrested. She can't arrest, obviously.
Yeah.
So I swing over and I punch in the middle of the trough, and she slams like right into my arm, her crotch like right into my arm, and I catch her, and then it happened again.
Oh no.
It happened again. So then after that, her husband, he gave me the name Buddy Rest, and they got me in and out, which was well deserved. So,
cool.
yeah.
Cool. Well, this is what I woke up to this morning. The mountaintop we're in is shrouded in fog and clouds, and it's cold and damp. And the tent was all condensation inside and dew on the outside. And then the pine needles collect all that dew, and when the wind blows, it drips like rain on the tent. So, getting a late start again. Things are damp. Inside's dried out at least, pretty much, the condensation, but the outside's still damp, so I'm going to pack it up that way and go. It's going to be chilly this morning. Time for a jacket again, I think. Well, with all the fog and clouds, I can't show you any scenery, but I can show you our intermittent rain drops. Right now the trail is dry, but if I come up here a little farther, you'll notice the trail starts to get damp. And this is because the trees above it are collecting the dew from the clouds and fog, and then as soon as the wind comes through, it drops it like rain. If I happen to be in one of those areas, I get rained on. So it's the way it goes. Hopefully it doesn't turn into real rain. If you can hear it, but there is rain or moisture dropping on my hat, on my clothes, and when I come out of the tree cover, I come back into a dry trail again. Well, here's a good example of why it's raining under trees. Get just enough liquid until it drips. Fog and mist is just blowing in. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. Hopefully it shows up. But it's just blowing in. Well, we still got the fog from yesterday with us, the mist hanging up in the air. Last night I stopped about 4 o'clock at the lake. It was windy, it still is windy. The mist was just going everywhere. I was soaked from my knees down. My feet were soaked just because of all the dew getting caught in the vegetation. So I stopped. This morning it was still pretty bad. I didn't get out until a little before 1 o'clock. It was cold and damp and it was just warmer in the tent. But the sun's trying to come out now. The clouds and the mist are lifting a little bit. So we potentially have rain today at 5 o'clock, so we'll see what happens. This is the Goats Rock Wilderness, and the clouds are lifting a little. Not as much as I'd like. Now those are some Karens. Unfortunately, the clouds are still a little up on some of the rocks here in Goat Rocks. People say sometimes you can see goats up there, but it's pretty far away. But that's an impressive cairn. It took some time to build. I'm sure in the snow season it probably is a welcome sight to say, hey, this is the trail. Oh, good morning. Heading up to Knife Edge. It's raining. It's going to rain all day, it sounds like. Head across a little snowfield, and we got this rock trail to follow, which is not well defined, but there is a cairn up there, which helps, so we know we're on the right path. Anyway, I'll fill you in down the road, but it is wet and cold and a little breeze. Well, we came from the top of that. There's a trail there, I know you can't see it, across the snow and up into here. And now there's a trail going down there. Some beautiful scenery. It's just hard to enjoy while it's wet and cold and windy. Well, this is a section of trail called Knife's Edge. I don't know if you can see the trail up there ahead. It just kind of goes along the crest. Pacific Crest Trail. There you go. But it's windy and cold up here. Beautiful scenery. If it wasn't so cloudy. And on this side, it's still spitting rain off and on. But it's cold and windy. It's hard to make the buttons on the camera work. So I'm gonna button up here and get across this thing. Well, here's why they call it the Knife's Edge. It's like you're walking on the edge of a knife. It's not much on either side. The trail isn't bad though. It's not as rocky as the parts leading up to it. This would be a gorgeous hike on a nice warm day with the sun out. But right now it's a little miserable. There are days on this trek where I ask myself, what the hell are you doing? And this is one of them. Coming over those snowfields, coming in those boulder trails with wet rocks and damp everywhere and cold hands. Anyway, I gotta bundle up again, it's getting cold, but you get the idea. So here's the trail going down and then back up over there.